All right, good evening, everyone. This is James coming to you, just talking about one of the reasons why I am focusing heavily on investing in cryptocurrency this particular year. Right now, what you see in front of you are one, two, three, four, five different tokens that were the product of an ICO. And what you can see is that the person invested $5,573, and based on the current ICO prices, they've actually made $29,000. So a profit of about 24, actually about 23 and a half thousand dollars. So over here you can see the ROI is almost 300% ROI, 247% ROI, 900% ROI. This ICO hasn't gone on an exchange yet, so we don't know how much the tokens will be worth. And finally, this particular ICO is 287% ROI. Also, one thing you have to notice that these ICOs usually complete within anywhere from 2 to 3 months. So you're gonna have your money locked up for that amount of time. But to get these kind of returns, I mean, this you can't do this in the stock market, or it's very hard to do this in the stock market. So I think I mentioned earlier, one of the places that I like to go to just look at ICOs are called, is this website here, icodrops.com. And here they actually have even more data as it relates to how much an ICO return once they complete it. So this is just the ICO stats tab. You can see, like, for this particular ICO, it returned this basically 2.79 times your initial investment. And as you can see, you can go down the list. That's 2, that's 4, 3, 9, so on and so forth. Bread, this is actually an ICO I almost got into, but it sold out before I was actually able to invest. But if I would have gotten in, I would have gotten a 3x return. There's actually a few more on here that I was a little skittish about investing in, and then as I look back now, I'm just kicking myself. Like Naga would have given me a 2.5% return. Um, Also, here's another thing I wanted to mention. There are a lot of people out here that are doing, what do you want to call it? Doing a lot of analysis on ICOs. So let's back up for a second. So at the very beginning of the ICO webpage, ICO Drops webpage, it'll tell you what are the active ICOs, what are ones that are ongoing, and which ones have ended. But one of the things you have to notice is that you don't really know which ICO is going to perform well or not. So a lot of people have taken it on themselves to start creating like ICO review sheets and reports. One of my favorites is this guy named Ian Balena. Many of you guys in the crypto community may have already heard of him, but he has a pretty large YouTube following. But what he likes to do is he basically grades many of the ICOs that come online, and based on what his grade is, he'll either invest, and he'll actually show you how much money he's invested in a particular ICO, um, and then just his particular rating. And so, just a quick look. So he'll give you like the ratings here. These are just multiple ICOs that either he may or may not have invested in, but he'll at least give you a grade on what he believes whether or not you should believes whether or not you should invest or not. Um, these are just other different investments. He has a best ICOs all time tab, and these are like ICOs that he did not invest in, and the particular reasons why. Now, he doesn't get everything right. For instance, the Naga ICO, the reason he passed on that because it had a high cap. But I think I told you a few seconds ago that it still returned over 2x. There was another ICO, Electronium. He believed that the team was relatively weak, but I invested in this ICO and it gave me, at the highest, it gave me a 12x return, but I didn't sell. I was thinking it was going to go higher, but I'm back down to maybe about an 8x return. So he doesn't get them all right, but the ones he does get right, he actually does pretty well on. So I'll I'll send copies of his spreadsheet when I post this video. There's another site we call ICO reviews, and this guy, he does something very similar to Ian, where um, he tells you, he basically creates his own rating system on how ICOs, on what he believes the ICO is going to do. um, I'm not going to go through every last one of these, but um, I will upload this link to the group as well. And then finally, let me see, it's another person. This is the one where I got the spreadsheet that I originally showed you, where this person believes that, I mean, he has his own rating system as well. A few of these I'm actually going to invest in, like Nucleus Vision and Bluezale. Those are ICOs that are high on my list, and I'm just waiting for them to open up to invest in. This was the spreadsheet that he talked about earlier, that I showed you earlier, where this is how much he took and this is how much his current investment is worth. And what a lot of people are doing, just a tip, is like all they're doing is flipping ICOs. So they'll take their initial investment, and flip it out to some number here, whatever the ICO returns them, and then they'll go and invest in a whole bunch of other ICOs and hopefully split that money out and flip it as well. So there is one guy who, again, that Ian guy, let's see, what is it? He has an Instagram page I had up a second ago. So right now, he does a screenshot every few days of how much his portfolio is worth, and he's very open. So his diary of a made man. One of the things he does is just, again, he shows a portfolio of how much all his cryptocurrency is worth. Right now, it's worth 2.28 million. Now, when I went back in his Instagram feed, he actually just started back in May of 2017 investing in ICOs. And his initial investment was around I think it was like $35,000 or something like that. So he's basically grown $35,000 from May of last year to today to over $2.2 million. So, and I was on an interview with him, I guess a blog interview or whatever with him the other day, and his goal is to turn this $2.2 million into $30 million this year. So I just wanted to share this with the group. I'm not trying to hype everything up, but I'm very interested in getting this stuff up and running on my end. So let me know if you got any questions. Hey, we can all crack it. There's a lot of money to go around, and I just wanted to make this known to everybody. Thanks.